Hello friends, it's Dion. Welcome to video number 5 in our series of interactive parametric modeling, where we're going to enter procedures and finish this up. Okay, so at this point I need to make some adjustments so that we have a starting position now that we have all the events for our sliders and everything seems to be working properly as far as things getting in their appropriate field input fields and everything's reporting correctly. I need to go in and make something that forces these to stay at 1 when they initially turn on, and so they're not in the right place. So these are not in the right place now. So because if I go ahead and I restart this, they'll reset to their initial positions. I have two choices to do this. I could go to the blend file and pull those over, and that's probably easier than anything else. So, and you know what, while I'm there, I should probably change this. This didn't turn out to be pure white, and that's because of color management. So why don't I go take care of both of those things at once. Inside Blender, we have that choice of always moving our shape keys to start off in a certain spot. So if you're not careful, if you're in global mode, this thing won't work. I'm trying to move it in the X. It's wanting to go everywhere. So be sure you're in local, and then GX will do nicely. And then what you want to do is grab the maximum value that is available through the constraint that obviously we set. Go back to your object properties, and then you can set the location appropriately to be the maximum. And you could save your GTLF that way, and it would solve the problem. That's a really simple way to do it. We're not going to do that today. I'm going to go back and show you how to do it in puzzles anyway. But I wanted you to know you could do that. But let's solve this lovely gray-white color. And you do that by going into, I believe it's your render properties. And then you're going to scroll all the way down, I think, to color management. And typically if I'm rendering animations and things like that for movie, video files, etc., I use Filmic. But for the purposes of Verge, it's always best to have that standard. You can even see how that quickly brightened things up. Went from a kind of a dull to a very bright. And now if we were to sample that, we'll go into Affinity and just get out an eyedropper. Let's move some of this out of the way. Where did Blender go? Blender is hiding on a separate screen. How about, oh, it's in full screen. So let's get that out of full screen, and now we can go back here and we can get an eyedropper and make sure that's a 255 white, which it is. So then when we come back and we export out, export, we want to be sure that we're getting the same color. So let's go back to here, minimize. Let's get rid of Affinity. I don't need the map. Hide that. And it's sitting right here. Okay, so we just reload. Yeah, that looks much brighter. So let's just double check by bringing Infinity back and doing an eyedrop test. Make sure. And that's 255, so that's our pure white. So that is responding appropriately as we expected. And now we can get back to business. So in order to get these to come to default, we need to go back to our starting sort of puzzle sets over here. And we're going to create a new section that we were going to start initially, but we're back at it. And we're going to call this positions, position slider buttons to default location. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to do a set position on an object. Let's see, set position, that should work. And we're going to need another map range again. Map range was under numbers, if I recall. And what we're going to do is get the value from the HTML puzzle. Get value, get prop. In this case, it's a value. My element. In this case, it's going to be flat bottom and the other one, whatever they were. Flat bottom, button slider. I have to angle forward. There it is. Flatten top and flatten bottom. Duplicate. Uh-oh. I just see a problem. This is step down, bottom. How do I have so many of these? Oh, duplicates. How the heck did this happen? Let's see what's going on. That's the bottom, and I have 2 of these. I don't need 2 of those. So let's get rid of one. One, two, three. Yep, I just had an extra one in there. That's what happens when you start and stop on creating tutorials. You can duplicate stuff and create some bizarre stuff that you wouldn't do if you're not trying to do things over a period of time like this. But hey, even I get to learn new things every day from my own mistakes. Always. Okay, so in this case, I want to have one for flattened bottom, and I'm going to do one for the other one, which is going to be, well, there we go. All right, now position. This is going to be slider, position, flatten top. Slider button BSD, here we go. And I don't think we have to worry about anything else. Let's see, I need to get the values. And the values we're going to get from positions from over here. So let's see. I'll just grab one of these, duplicate it, bring it over here. And, well, instead of me making a mistake and typing all that in, why don't I do the opposite? But I can't because I have to go from 0 to 1 and I gotta translate these. Here to here, and here to here. To here. Should have done that one earlier. That should do it. So let's see if that pushes our lovely sliders to the default locations we want. And it does. So that makes sense to me, and that makes sense to me. Okay, great. Now onwards and upwards. Let's see. I don't necessarily, I guess we should work on a submit button. It's probably a good thing to do. And let's start a procedure called submit. Procedure, do something. Now normally you could create, you know, all different kind of tabs. There's not going to be a lot of puzzles in this thing to get this working, so I'm just going to go ahead and stick it all in one tab. You guys can modify it to your liking. And this is going to do what? Let's see. We want to collect all data from the HTML input fields and then store in vars. So we want variables. We can start with whatever one we want. And we're going to do get prop, HTML get prop, HTML, where is HTML get prop. I get the value, value, and from element, and this is going to be the HTML pieces. So this is back angle, but it's like back, that's front, that's back, and it was this one, angle back. Duplicate. Is that the variable list? Is it the same? Bottom step down, I guess, is the next one. Okay. Bottom step down. Flatten bottom. Duplicate that one. And what's the next one? Next is front angle. Let's angle forward. Height entered. Height, I think it's just height. But while I'm here, we should have all 7 now. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, that takes care of that. But we also need to adjust the sliders on the submit, because when the sliders, when those values are entered on submit of the buttons, you want the sliders to adjust to whatever values those were. So we're going to create another procedure called adjust sliders. Why not something so descriptive? Sliders. And adjust sliders is going to be a thing that this when called the sliders, the slider button positions are updated and moved. Pretty clear what we want that to do, and we're going to want to call that from here, so that's fine. Helps if I don't cover up what I was doing. Let's just stick this below so I can easily follow the flow. Okay, and now we're going to set the slider length position. Object set. Let's do that. Oh, did I grab it? Set slider, set that length. This is going to get kind of long because we're going to need another map range. Numbers, map range, and let's start with slider length. Slider length, map range, Length entered will be the variable, I believe. Length entered, and that's going to go from 20 to 100. And we're going to go back and steal the values that I had up here. Ding, ding, ding. I think they're all the same. Yeah, they are, so I can steal any of them. So let's go here. And let's go there. Okay. And we need to do the width. We need to do 6 things. 6 more things. So let's duplicate this a bunch of times. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And let's go to the next was. I always like it when I do things in order, so I'm going to do, whoop, not there. I'm going to change this one to that one. We're going to do this one to slider BA, back entered. This next one is going to be BSD, and this is going to be the bottom step down entered. This is going to be after BSD is FA, front angled. This one's going to be slider H, height, entered. After height is length. That one's fine. After length comes TSD. And after the TSD comes width. Okay. That should do that. So adjust the sliders, press the submit button, we adjust the sliders, all's good, and we can kind of test that out. Let's actually pull up the camera and we'll test this out. Should have our default buttons set to where they're supposed to. Everything should match what's over here. If I put in, let's just say I put in 40 for a length and I press submit. Uh-oh. Something's not working, so here we go. Oh, you know, I didn't put the submit button. So I don't even think I have a button labeled submit yet, do I? Doesn't seem so. So let's create a button called submit. When clicked, event. When clicked. This case is button. Do we even have a name for that? Menu, 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 menu. Let's see if I can find it. Sub. I can't believe I wouldn't have created that. It's possible. Menu, 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 menu. Okay. It's an HTML button, so object. I don't know what I'm doing here. Okay, so let's go ahead and get rid of this. So for our button, we're not going to use a regular button. We need HTML, and we need a on event, advanced place buttons. This is going to be when user presses the HTML submit button. On event click, and this one is just going to be called submit button, I think. What did we call that? Got to go back to here. We called it that. Okay, oh, there's an N in there, I didn't capture it. And on that, we want to run the process of submit. Okay, that should work. Let's go ahead and add a 40 here, and we'll hit submit. We should see length changed. Our top downs went from 0. They did not set right. So what do we have? Step down set to, oh, we had our step down value set to 0. No, that can't be right. Have to figure out that. So we need to set these. So these are set to 1 by default. So we do that and do that. Submit. And there is something funky going on, huh? Let's see if these other things work. Let's go with 50. Nope. 50. Yeah, but the model's not updating. Great. This is working, but model's not updating. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Huh. Do any of these work? Just these? Something's not right. Okay, well, we're not doing something right. So let's see where I went astray. Get prop values, set with entered, adjust sliders. Well, I guess we can slider widths, those are happening. Set with enters, those happening. Morph targets aren't happening. So why aren't the morph targets happening? Button press. Oh, well, kind of can need something that says adjust the model. Let's do a procedure called adjust the model. And then let's get rid of this. Adjust sliders. Adjust model. Yep. We need to adjust the model here. Then we need a bunch of set morph targets. Objects, set morph targets, set morph factor. Let's go here. And this will always be the base. And the target here will be base W. And base W will be the, oh, we gotta do the map range again. So let's do W. Duplicate. Methods is gonna go 22. What was I doing? Oh my gosh. Now I see my error. My waves. And this is all, I was copying this. This should have been 0 to 15. Map range button slider should have been for minimums. I don't know if this should be 0 to 1 or 1 to 0. I think this is going to be 0 to 1. I'm not certain. Let me think about that. Yeah, let's make these 0, 1, 0, 1, 0. This is an angle. This is at 15. And the height, this is 50. Length is 100. Step down is 0 to 1. and width is 20 to 50. There we go. Okay, that's better. So now we get this. So then I can get rid of this, and I can start with width, duplicate. Oh, let's try that again. Map range entered, width, duplicate. Down that goes, and then we make the following changes. This is going to be 2050, and then this is going to be 0 to 1. We're mapping that back to a shape key. And this is going to be TSD, so 0 to 1. And that's going to, well, it's going to be the reverse of that because we need it backwards. 1 to 0. And then next one is going to be top, 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 top. This one's going to be bottom, bottom, bottom. And then duplicate this. What's the next one? Angle back. Angle, back angle, entered, and that's 0 to 15, and that's 0 to 1. Duplicate that. Forward angle, 0 to 15, duplicate that. Base H, height, and this is going to be, I think, height was 20 to 50, 20, ooh, what, not 200, 20 to 50. Okay, now, sheesh. Anything else I possibly forgot? Let's see. I think that should do it. Let's try this again. I may want to change my HTML. Those are both 1. That's set to 1. That's looking good. If I submit, nothing changes. If I change my length to 50, submit. Ugh. What happened? Just model was on submit. Did I have that? Adjust sliders, adjust model on submit. I did. Hmm. 30. See if any of these work. That one's working, so length isn't working. So base width, base length. Oh, that's because I have that set there. Length entered. There we go. Try this again. Length of 50. Submit. Wow, wow, perfect. All right, that's working too. Let's try this at 0, not a 10. 0. Perfect. Let's try the angle forward of 7. Submit, changes it there. We can change this way. We can rotate around if we want. Take a look at it. Back angle. Height. Let's try the height of 30. And a width of 40. Wow. And there's a new piece. And everything's sliding in okay. So there you go. Now the only thing that we want to do is when we change these things, our camera isn't always in the best spot. So if I put this at 100, we'd like for the camera to be there or as close to it, but I think by default it's somewhere else. So let's see what happens. So let's see if we can fix this camera problem. Yeah, if we go to 100, it's too wide. Same length, height, and that's what we had those camera location targets for. So we're going to now try to create another procedure that we can do camera targeting on. Procedures, let's do something called the concept here is to conditions for relocating camera lock and target. Okay, lock. I use abbreviations, but I don't think I did in this one. Okay, so let's do some logic here. If the length, do I need some sort of less than or equals here to do some compare. If the length is variable, if length entered is less than some number, I'm just going to pick one for right now. Let's say I choose 30. What do I want the camera to do? I want the camera to look at camera location target base. But if it gets bigger, I'm going to want it to look something else. So length entered, let's say it's greater than 30. And need some more logic. And duplicate this so that it is, I don't know, let's divide this in threes. I'd probably have to go back and set up some new targets, but if it's less than, let's do that way, 66, 33. Where we have two zones for the camera to muck with. Set camera target, duplicate, and I don't have a location width, location length. That'll be my long one. Let's just stick that one in there for now, and then we'll add one more. Else if if it's greater than 66, then we will look at camera length. Do I have a camera length? Target base, camera large, camera target large. Okay, so I need a medium, but this may be my medium for now. And then let's see what that does. I don't know if it'll do the trick because I don't know if the targets are really set up for that. So right now, if I change my length to something over 30, nothing happens. Nothing happens. Oh, well, let's call this camera adjust, for lack of something better. Camera adjust. And then we need to stick the camera adjust in up here. Procedures. Wow. Camera adjust. This thing's in my way. Alright. Let's try that. It's not doing what I want. Camera look at. So it's just adjusting the look at, but it's not adjusting where I want to go. So let's change the camera object's location. Let's see if we can. I don't know if I want to tween to it, but for right now, I'll just set a snap to. Camera location base. Height. So that doesn't do anything. I wonder if it's even entering. Is it really entering? Or is it only on Smit? Oh, it is only in Smit. I hadn't adjusted. So let me replay this a little bit. Let's go to 50. Submit. Whoa, off it went. So there's probably some angles that aren't quite right as far as where those markers are. So yeah, we have some issues with where our markers are, but the concept is there. So first let me back these out because I don't know if I need these. And then the other thing we need to do is I need to set, and if you recall, I told you we were probably going to have to add a submit in here, and we do. So let's just add the procedures of submit on drop, duplicate, duplicate, and that way when we adjust the sliders, we commit all the values, and we also do all the model adjustments, plus we do the camera move as well when we drop. Duplicate. And really, this is how a project goes. You do things, you think you did things, you make mistakes, you have to go back and fix them, diagnose them, figure out what's going on. But that's what creating all these fun things is really about. So hopefully you love puzzles and figuring them out, because not puzzles as in Blockly, but puzzles in just your own code and what you may have created. Whoa, I didn't want to do that. So let's see what happens. Okay, so there's a problem with one of the locations. We're going to have to figure that out, but the idea of it's working. So let's go figure out where these are in Blender. I have camera target large, camera location with height, that seems to be way off, and camera target base seems to be on. So let's go take a look at what these are. So I'm going to go to a different view, and I believe okay, so this is camera target base. I'm going to call this small. I'll change the names. I'm going to change the name. Let's try to think of what else I want to do. This one I don't think I even want there. Nope, nope, nope. I'm going to change it all. Small. Where'd that one go? Okay, well that's why that thing was, I didn't have that right. So, camera location, large. Camera location, medium, maybe. Camera location, base. So those are the three locations. This one just seems better up here. Okay, and let's get into the three locations down here. We need a, actually I don't even know if I need a location for those. I might be able to keep the camera target the same. Let's see if I can do that. Just delete that and then call this camera target and call it a day there, and we'll just adjust where this goes. A new philosophy. Let's try it out. File, export, GLTF, export. And now we're going to change this to camera location. Let's get rid of these. Cameras, camera look at. Okay. Well, we're going to always have to make sure the camera's looking at camera. Oh, this didn't get updated, so we refresh it. Camera target's always going to be there. Cameras, no, I think object snap. Snap that, you know, fun and games. Let's make it smooth. Tween camera, to position. Camera location base, and look at camera target. All right, bump, and we'll do that. It's fine. This is our camera location, medium, camera target, fine, duplicate. See what this gives us. Yeah, that's kind of nice. That way it always fits in, and when it gets smaller, camera gets closer, camera gets closer. Well, that's interesting. Why is that snapping back? A bug. That one's not, but this one is. I have to figure out why that's doing that. That's working. That's working. Front angle's working. Okay, so our only issue is height. It wants to snap back. Let's see what that is. 50. Okay, so it's just the slider position. So we gotta go figure out where that button slide at ace position, height entered 2050. That looks good. Base size button height entered 2050 0 to 1. That's fine. Height entered, get probably height. That one's fine. Let's go look at my height button. Height entered, button height, position X, 20 to 50, base height, height entered, height. Oh, right there. Right there. It's the bug. Save that. And reload. And I think all's good in the universe. And that's basically all you do to create a parametric model and create you something that you can use slider controls for your menus, HTML to do it as well, form, whatever you want to do. This has been a very long video. I know that there's been a lot to it. As always, I hope you like and subscribe so I can make some more content. And this, along with the models and the puzzles, will be available on the Xeon 3D Labs website, so you can download those and have fun experimenting yourself. This has been a great time, and hope you all enjoy it, and take care.